Hey, I'm Dan.
And I'm Derek.
And welcome to the Gleeful Globe.
So we're all aware of the wild events that are going on during 2020.
So we figured that we should find and spread gleeful news to cheer everyone up and keep us moving forward.
So without further ado, let's move on to our first piece of good news. So our first piece of good news is talking about how a Nigerian boy just won a huge scholarship after dancing in the rain and that video going viral. Anthony Madu, an 11-year-old from Nigeria, has just been offered a full-ride scholarship to dance at a prestigious school in Manhattan. The video of him doing ballet just went viral, and the school gave Anthony internet access to allow him to attend all of the classes online over the summer.
His dance teacher was also given the opportunity to participate in a program for dance teachers in America. He and his teacher bonded over dancing as black males in today's society. Well, I wish they could teach me to dance because, as you can see, I'm pretty clumsy.
I like that laugh.
Our second piece of good news is how two surfers were able to save a dog from a sea cave after it's been missing for 3 months. Zach Regan and Maddie Johnson were on a boat for a surfing trip when one of them saw a small animal in a cave on a cliff. They needed to beat the storm, but they still stayed to save the dog Stella.
The dog's owners were excited to see her, as they had thought that she was gone forever after they had lost her 3 months earlier. They wanted to share their story to inspire people to put themselves out there in tough scenarios like this. A lot of us has faced this dilemma. How much do we tip at a restaurant? 10%? 15%? 20%? Well, Peter Murray was working at Lucille's Smokehouse in Concord after the restaurant reopened.
Brian Murphy was taking part in a challenge where you raise $1,000 through Venmo donations and then give it to a restaurant server as a tip. Murphy said that he was planning to use some of the money for rent and then the rest for savings.
The host of the restaurant also received $400, and Murphy says he plans to keep doing challenges.
So our next piece of good news is talking about how a self-powered alarm is fighting forest fires along with monitoring the environment. MSU scientists made a remote forest fire detection and alarm system that runs on the trees moving in the wind. It gets its electrical power from harvesting energy from the occasional movement of the tree branches. So does that mean it gets power if you hooked it up to a person that just went like this?
This technology can quickly alert us to fires, allowing firefighters to put them out faster, resulting in less damage. The team is hoping to add technology to also monitor other weather conditions, depending on the area in which the device is being used.
Our next piece of good news is talking about how northern white rhino eggs have just been harvested from the last 2 animals in a bid to prevent extinction. Scientists have extracted eggs from the last 2 northern white rhinos, Naheen and Fatu. The eggs will be taken to Italy so they can be artificially inseminated with frozen sperm from northern white rhino bulls, which are now sadly extinct.
The embryos will then be transferred into surrogates. If this works, it will save the species from extinction after they have been targeted by poachers for years, which is wonderful news. Polio has gone out of existence here in the United States for a long time, but in Africa, news has just come that they are finally free of the wild polio virus, with 0 cases reported in the last 4 years. In the mid-90s, the virus was affecting about 75,000 kids per year, so leaders of every African country committed to getting rid of the virus in 1996.
According to the World Health Organization, the efforts have saved over 180,000 lives and saved over 1.8 million people from paralysis. Although there have been 2 cases of vaccine-derived polio virus, officials are confident that they can stop the spread and get rid of it quickly.
It always feels good to help someone who is in need. Well, a Roosevelt football team cleaned up the yard of a man with disabilities. Ray Drake has been paralyzed for decades and is cared for by his sisters. After the derecho in Iowa hit his home, he needed help, and his sisters reached out to his old friends from high school.
One of those friends, being Doug Applegate, recruited the Roosevelt High School football team, and the team showed up and cleaned Drake's house within 2 hours.
And that's all the good news we have planned for this episode.
We hope that you guys enjoy this episode of the Gleeful Globe. We post new episodes weekly, so please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed it.
If you come across any piece of good news that cheers you up and that you'd like to share, please don't hesitate to fill us in through this link, tinyurl.com/gleefulglobe.
I've been Derek.
And I've been Dan. See you next week.